Hey everyone, welcome back to Rustic Tech Tales where we build it, break it, and sometimes laugh at ourselves doing it. Today's video is extra special. We've gathered a group of real engineers to react to some of their own biggest, most epic fails. I'm talking about everything from exploding prototypes to collapsing projects. It's going to be a wild ride. You know, failure is just part of the process, but that doesn't mean we can't have a good laugh about it. So grab your popcorn, secure your hard hats, and let's dive right into the hilarious world of engineering mishaps. Oh no, not this one again. Just look at that pressure gauge. It's already screaming abort mission.
Vividly, my professor was watching, my classmates were there, and I was so nervous but excited to see the results of my...
I never say that. I wasn't not sure. I thought I had double-checked everything. Clearly, I missed something crucial, and there got the last second.
The water shot up to the ceiling. It looked like a scene from a disaster movie. My notes, my backpack, everything was soaked. The worst part.
That was brutal, but looking back, it's just a classic story of hubris meeting hydraulics. A humbling experience, to say the least.
When you forget to check the pressure relief valve, the valve checks you. I learned a very valuable and very wet lesson that day. Always respect the pressure. It's a force of nature, and if you don't give it an escape route, it will make one for itself.
The cleanup was brutal, but looking back, it's just a classic story of hubris meeting hydraulics.
Okay, so it's made of popsicle sticks. How bad could it be? This was for my first year structural engineering competition. The goal was to build the strongest bridge using only popsicle sticks and glue. I spent weeks on this thing, calculating all the stress points, making these perfect little trusses. I thought it was a masterpiece, an unbreakable work of art. My design was theoretically sound. On paper, it was flawless. I was so sure this little bridge was going to hold at least 100 pounds. Yeah, gravity had other plans. Newton wins again. It snapped the second the first weight was placed on it. It didn't even bend. It just exploded into a cloud of splintered wood. You can see the look of pure shock on my face. All those late nights, all that careful gluing, gone in a millisecond. My professor just patted me on the back and said, "Welcome to engineering." Pro tip, hot glue is not a substitute for concrete. That's the real takeaway here. I think my mistake was underestimating the sheer forces. Or maybe, just maybe, I used way too much glue in some places and not enough in others. It's a fine balance, you know? But hey, at least it failed spectacularly. It wasn't a boring collapse. It was a fireworks show of failure. I swear it worked before I plugged it in. This was my senior capstone project, a custom power supply unit. I'd been troubleshooting it for weeks on the low-voltage test bench, and everything seemed perfect. The simulations were clean. The breadboard prototype worked. I was finally ready for the final full-power test. I was feeling so proud, so ready to be done. You can see the confidence just before I flipped the switch. I was thinking, this is it, the grand finale. That's what happens when your ground wire decides to retire early. That spark. It jumped right out of the board. I felt the static in the air, and my heart skipped a beat. It turns out a tiny solder joint on the main ground connection had come loose during assembly. It was a simple mistake, but one with some very flashy consequences. Thankfully, the main breaker tripped and nothing caught on fire. but my beautiful circuit board was toast. At least the lights worked for a second. It was a very bright, very brief moment of success, followed by the smell of burnt electronics. It's a smell you never forget. That's the thing with electrical engineering, though. You can't see the electricity, so you have to trust your design and your wiring. And when you mess up, it lets you know in the most dramatic way possible. This was supposed to be autonomous navigation, not demolition derby. We were programming this little guy to map a room using a LiDAR sensor. The algorithm was supposed to identify obstacles and elegantly navigate around them. In the simulation, it worked flawlessly. It was like a graceful ballet dancer weaving through a virtual obstacle course. We were so excited to see it come to life in the real world. We thought we were on the verge of a breakthrough. AI 0.5 obstacle, undefeated. Look at it go. It just repeatedly rams into the same table leg. It's like it developed a personal vendetta against that one piece of furniture. It identifies the obstacle, stops, thinks for a second, and then just drives straight into it again. We spent hours trying to figure out what was wrong. It turned out to be a single calibration error in the motor controller. It was a classic case of garbage in, garbage out. Even robots need a little direction, sometimes literally. The machine was learning. All right. It was learning exactly how to find the most inefficient path possible. This little robot taught me more about debugging and patience than any textbook ever could. It's funny now, but at the time, it was maddening. We eventually got it to work, but I'll never forget its short-lived career as a tiny, robotic battering ram. And that's a wrap, folks. Big thanks to our brave engineers for sharing their stories. As you can see, engineers may make mistakes, but that's how innovation happens, one hilarious fail at a time. It's all about learning, iterating, and not being afraid to blow things up occasionally. If you enjoyed watching this as much as we enjoyed making it, do us a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more engineering fun. And we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments what's your funniest engineering fail. We'd love to read your stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.